Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the KOM Cycling Quick Release Light 350 bike headlight. The new KOM Cycling Quick Release Light 350 is their latest compact headlight in their quick release lineup. The light is designed to integrate seamlessly into bike cockpits with a dual-sided Garmin or Wahoo mount that can be placed between computers and an out front mount or directly underneath. So a very flexible design. And as you can see here, packaging is nice and simple. You have a little window, the white and black branding that KOM is known for. That lets you actually see the light, and then illustrations of how it's mounted and its features. You also have all the lighting modes and specs on the side, so you know exactly what you're getting. I'll go ahead and open this up. We'll go over these specs. So retail price on this is $59.99. You have a pretty bright 350 lumen output, which is impressive for the small size. You also have a Garmin or Wahoo compatible mount, so that lets you use the Wahoo or Garmin either on the top or the bottom, and that's one of the biggest features here. Also, you have a multi-level battery indicator that'll show different colors, so you know exactly how much battery you have, and then run times that range from 2 to 20 hours, depending on whether you use the high steady mode or the daytime flash, and it also has USB Type-C charging, so you can easily recharge it. As far as what comes with it, you can see we have the light itself, a little plastic tray to hold it, the instruction manual that shows you how to use it, a little discount for the $20 off the larger 1000 lumen variation, and then you also have the accessories over here on the bottom that you have to pull out. And in here we'll find all the additional pieces. So you can see we have a little Allen wrench. We have a USB Type-C to USB Type-C charging cable. And that's because you can't actually use this light as a power bank, so you can directly connect this to your device. You have some mounting pieces here as well, so you have a rotated 90-degree bottom mount compared to what's installed, so you can use that on a Wahoo. And then you also have a separate top plate that again is the Wahoo style, so it's 90 degrees turn, same as a Garmin mount, but just rotated. And then a Garmin to Wahoo adapter that you can also use on the bottom. So more than enough options to really mount this any way you want. Now let's take a look at the weight of the light. So the light by itself with all the pre-installed mounts, that comes in at only 75 grams, so pretty lightweight. The Quick Release 350 is a compact bike headlight with a compact rectangular profile that is designed with a clever dual-side mount. KOM Cycling is specifically designed to seamlessly work with their out-front mount or other third-party out-front mounts to put this between your GPS computer and your mount, or underneath your out-front mount for a very seamless design. What separates this from a lot of other lights you can see is that it has the built-in mounts both on the top and the bottom, so you can flip it upside down, put another accessory on top of this, or put this underneath the out-front mount. So it's a pretty clever design that combines a compact body with a bunch of functionality. We've seen this type of light before. There are brands like Fabric, Ravemen, Coospo, even Moon Sport have done this. But with this one, KOM Cycling has really designed it for a more robust design and a brighter output. You have 350 lumens from the COB LED and an all-metal design. So the whole body is aluminum, and you can see it has a nice texture to it, and it has a nice premium and lightweight feel. Both of the mounts are plastic, but the rest of the body is metal, which helps dissipate the heat and makes them more robust. You have very basic branding on here. You have KOM Cycling on the top, and then just some basic safety specs on the bottom of the body. There's also a USB Type-C charging port here that makes it really easy to charge, and you can use this as a power bank. So you could charge up another device with this light. As far as mounting this, that's really where this stands out compared to other lights. You have a bottom Garmin mount, so you can actually attach that directly to a Garmin mount, flip it upside down, and put it underneath your out-front mount. Or you can actually install it upright, and this is non-directional, so it doesn't really matter. You can install it on top of your out-front mount, and because you have another Garmin receiver on the top, I can attach my computer or other accessories directly on top of it for a nice subtle look. So you can see everything's nice and hidden. I have my computer, and it really conceals the light itself. You can see the light is fairly thick though, so it definitely sticks out but it's barely wider than the Garmin mount itself, so you don't see it off the side. KOM also includes quite a few accessories with this. So you can see we have a couple options for the top and bottom mounts. We have the standard Garmin mounts pre-installed, so you can see the tab locations. And then we have an alternative bottom one that flips it 90 degrees. So you can see this will flip the direction. You also have a adapter from Garmin to Wahoo. So you can put that on top rather than swapping out with that one bolt. And you have a second top plate. So with the 2 bolts here, you can remove this plate, and this will again flip the tabs 90 degrees. That'll work with Wahoo. Or if you have a different mount that happens to be rotated, you can also swap it out. So really simple design, and everything's nice and flush and feels a lot more premium than some of the more affordable options out there. The user interface on this is very simple as well. Single button. If you press the button once, you get a color. You either get blue, yellow, or red. Red is for under 21%. Yellow would be 21 to 60. And then above 61 would be the blue button. It's a little bit confusing. It would have been nice to see a more standard green color. But blue here means good. Holding it for a few seconds turns the light on. And you can see we have a couple modes to choose from. A single press will cycle through 3 flash modes and then 3 constant modes. What's also unusual here is you can double tap and it'll go backwards. So you don't have to do 6 presses. You can just do 1 to go 1 back, which is kind of a cool feature here. The downside of this light is you don't have mode memory, which is a little bit unusual for more modern lights. And that means when I turn it back on, it always turns on the same mode. So it doesn't really remember where it was. So if I want a daytime flash and I go back and turn it on, you can see it's the same low flash setting. If I wanted the full constant mode, I'd have to double tap to go backwards, which is nice because you don't have to do 6 forward taps. But definitely odd they don't get mode memory. But you see you have the nice illuminated button. And then with the lens here, you can see it's a COB LED. So nice uniform glow, not really going to illuminate the road far down from you. But if you're just commuting or doing urban riding, you have the full 350 lumens, which will illuminate the road just in front of your bike. So definitely not good for higher speeds, but for a slow speed commute or around town, this can definitely work in a pinch. You can see you have a yellow coloring. That's because of the chemicals used behind it. And then it has this textured lens. So it's kind of a dimpled effect. And you can see that helps distribute the light, gives it more of a glow. And you can also see the lens here extends out on the side. So you do get side visibility. So even if they don't see you from right in front of you, even from higher angles, you're still visible, which is always a nice feature. There's 6 different output modes with the headlight. You have low with 100 lumens and 10-hour runtime, medium with the 200 lumens and 5-hour, and then high mode with the full 350 in 2 hours. And it's kind of cool to see full output at a steady mode. Nighttime flash is the default mode, and it's 30 to 100 lumen. Daytime flash, which has a really nice bright erratic flash pattern. And then high flash, which is 300 lumens and 4-hour runtime. You can see here mounted on the bike, you have nice visibility even from the sides as you have a little lip on the edge. And with a dual mounting here, you can put it underneath your out front mount or on top and conceal it underneath a GPS computer. So nice flexibility, although it is a little bit on the thicker side. Here you can see a photo of the full steady mode with the camera, and you can see it's a longer exposure, so it looks a little bit brighter, but you have nice visibility around the bike, but you don't have long distance visibility. And you can see that here with the GoPro. So you can definitely not see that far in front of you, but right in front of the bike's illuminated. So if you're on dark trails for short periods of time or at slower speeds, it's a good option. Otherwise, it's a great daytime visible light. You can just run the daytime flash and put this underneath your GPS computer and just forget about it for a really clean look. So it's definitely cool to have these kind of sandwiched style lights, especially for daytime visibility. And with this one, in a pinch, you can also use it at night. But again, I highly recommend getting a brighter one if you're riding at higher speeds. Now still a little comparison between the Quick Release 350 and other lights on the market. We actually have KOM Cycling's other quick release light, which is their 1000. And you can see very similar form factors. They both have the same mounting design, so dual mounts on top and bottom. And the same width. The big difference here is the Quick Release 1000, as the name implies, has 1000 lumens. So you can see it's taller and longer. It also has the hinged lens body. So you can adjust this by 30 degrees. And with this focus LED versus the COB LED, you can see this one's more of a glow, while the Quick Release 1000 actually has a lens that with a focused LED. So you can definitely see further down the road. Well, this one more just illuminates around you. But it's cool that they have similar form factors and they both have the nice premium feel with the same user interface. Now this type of sandwich light is something we've definitely seen before. We don't have the fabric lumen array here, and they sort of seem to be out of business, but the Ravemen FR series is almost a copy of it. So you can see much thinner. You have this more of a trapezoidal body shape to it, but mounts on top and the bottom. And what I like about the Ravemen design is they took the lumen array, added USB Type-C, and you can see I have a nice wraparound LED grid instead of this more square design, and it's thinner. So it looks a little bit sleeker on the bike. They also have a brighter version, the 300 lumen version, and you can see again, thinner design, but definitely bigger, and something that's more obvious from underneath the GPS computer if you have a smaller computer. There also is the Coospo BLC 100, which is an interesting variation of that. Instead of a curved one, you have two pieces that essentially makes this have a shield design. This has a really big battery though, 5,000 milliamps. So more than double the size of what you get with the quick release light, but huge design, so nice. It's really big, it's plastic. And then for the top mount, it's a separate adapter that you slide on these little slots here. So kind of a weird design, while the KOM Cycling one is much more integrated. And again, with this one, it is thinner, which I like, but much larger. That's due to larger battery capacity with the quick release 350. It's a nice combination of the functionality, a little bit thicker design, but you get the nice bright output. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the KOM Cycling Quick Release 350. What we like about it is you have dual-sided mounting. You can put this underneath your out front mount, in between a computer and your out front mount, or just put on top. So plenty of options. You have bright output with the daytime flash mode, so you're visible during the day. And you even have bright output for slower speed nighttime riding. Also with the little bit thicker size of this, you get long runtime thanks to a larger battery. The main negatives with this light is the fact you do have a thicker form factor, especially compared to other kind of sandwich style lights. It's a little bit thicker. It would have been nice if it was half the thickness and a little bit wider instead. Also, you have no mode memory, which is a really strange feature. Most lights these days come with mode memory. So every time you turn it on, it always goes to the default low flash mode rather than the mode you chose. Also, the blue battery indicator light is a little bit confusing. Would have liked it just to see a standard green, yellow, red. Taking everything into account, we give you the light a 9.1 out of 10. It's a nice bright B-scene headlight with dual mounting. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.